I was speaking with a principal last week who said something that stopped me cold. I'm copied into everything, but I don't feel like I'm part of anything. And I knew exactly what they meant. It's not that they were burned out. It's not that they weren't working hard. They were doing all the right things, attending meetings, writing reports, responding to constant streams of emails. But somewhere along the way, they'd vanished. Not literally, but relationally, culturally, and emotionally. They'd become invisible. And they're not alone. So right now, school leaders across Australia are disappearing in plain sight. We think of leadership visibility as being physically present, showing up at the staff briefing, sitting in classrooms, delivering a welcome message at assembly. But presence isn't about just being seen, it's about being felt. It's about showing up in ways that shape trust, culture, and momentum, not just agendas and protocols. And the deeper truth is this: you can be highly visible on paper and completely absent where it matters most. When you're caught in compliance, crisis, and calendar overload, it's easy to retreat. You default to systems, you manage through emails, you become efficient but distant. You stop showing up in the staff room conversations, you stop hearing what's really going on. And without even noticing, you become a name on an email chain. You're still the leader, but you've disappeared. Now, let's be clear. This isn't about micromanaging or walking the halls with a clipboard. It's about relational visibility. Your leadership should be felt in the room, not just referenced in a document or an email. So here are the shifts that matter. First, from shadow authority to confident relational presence. When leaders feel shackled by system demands, politics, or fear of backlash, they start to pull back. They wait to be asked, and they filter everything through layers of caution. And over time, people start making decisions around them and not with them. Confident presence doesn't mean taking up all the space. It means standing where you're needed without apologizing for leading. The second is from email leadership to embedded influence. It's tempting to run the school from your inbox. You can delegate, update, resolve, and never leave your office. But culture doesn't live in CC lines, it lives in shared air, body language, trust. Embedded influence means being known not just for what you say, but for how you show up. When your presence becomes part of how people think, act, and feel, that's leadership. Third is from crisis communication to everyday connection. Now, most principals are brilliant in a crisis. They're calm, clear, and capable. But if the only time staff see you in action is when something's on fire, you become the fire chief, not the culture carrier. Everyday connection is where real influence is built. It's the passing conversation, the quiet check-in, the hallway moment that wasn't on the schedule. One assistant principal told me we didn't know what kind of mood she'd be in until she walked into the staff room, and then we'd adjust our energy around it. That's presence, not performance presence. The next is from busyness signals to meaningful contact. There's a subtle message leaders often send. I'm busy, I'm under pressure, I'm stretched. It's not intentional, but it tells people, don't bring me problems, don't ask for time. Meaningful contact isn't about adding hours, it's about removing barriers. Sometimes pausing to say, that must have been tough, does more for culture than a whole day of PD. These shifts aren't about being everywhere or doing more, they're about becoming visible again in the ways that matter most. So if those are the shifts that matter, how do you actually live them out without stretching yourself even thinner? These are the things that I've seen work. 1. Use casual video to close the gap. You don't need a script or a studio, just open Loom and hit record like I'm doing now, or use your phone. A 60-second reflection of the week, a check-in before a big day, a moment of thanks to your team. It's real, it's human, it's you. And that's exactly what your staff need to see. Now, I've worked with principals who shifted culture just by sending one short weekly video update. Not polished and not public, just presence, delivered with care. Second, create presence rituals. Not more meetings and not more processes, just small, deliberate practices that say, I'm here and I see you. Try this. 3 minutes, 3 questions, 3 staff. Every day, choose 3 staff members. Ask one question that matters. Listen and move on. You don't need a new initiative. You need repeatable moments that build trust. 3, name invisible efforts in others. This one's powerful. When you publicly acknowledge something quiet and meaningful that someone else has done, you invite them to see you more clearly too. It's not just appreciation, it's reciprocal visibility, and it spreads quickly. So let me ask you something personal. Have you started to feel like you're leading from the outside? Are you copied in but no longer connected? Because if that's true, you're not broken, you've just drifted into invisibility, and you can come back. If this landed, if you felt something shift while watching, then join me for the free professional wellness workshop. It's where I work with school leaders to reconnect them to their purpose, presence, and people. And if this message made you feel seen, like it, subscribe, and pass it on to a leader who might be starting to disappear without realizing it. You don't need to be everywhere. You just need to be somewhere real. And sometimes that's enough to shift everything.